Let's continue on our scavenger hunt. Okay, so we just did lines and I forgot to do the shapes, but we're going to be talking about shapes in this video. Now, I had trouble with this one because when you're talking about just geometric shapes, I don't see a lot of them. Where I see a lot of them is when you can form them out of the space, out of the void places, and I'll do a video on that next. But on this one, of course, you've got lines. Here are the lines. Here are the lines. I pointed those out with here's a line shape. That was all in the lines. I didn't circle this, but that looks like it's a patch of snow, and it may continue over here. Now, that would be a pattern, that would be a shape, but it would be what the in the video was referred to as an organic. It's just like if you spill a bottle of ink, it's going to spill and it's going to go every which way, but it's still going to form a shape. It's just organic. It was made by the ink. It was not made in a mold or it was not created by anybody, just a bottle of ink. So when you look at that, you see a lot of these shapes back here. There's circles and ovals. But what I did on here, I brought out the lines, which is kind of silly because I've already done that. But what I really noticed were these organic shapes. See these, I don't think that is snow. I think they're bald patches in the grass. See behind this one right here? There's one. You see one there. You see a little patch every now and then right here. So that those are the kind that they're looking at and want you to talk about. This shape here, I don't know what it's a shape of. It looks like a rod, but you could say that that is a shape, a shadow that's a shape. I'm sorry. I don't know what you would call it. This also is a fluid shape. Your shadows are shapes. They don't look much like people. They look like blobs in this picture. So you could bring any of those out, and actually the curb itself is one long rectangle. So those are the shapes that we see. So in my paragraph, and you notice it's not very long, and I probably would not have chosen shapes for my analysis of the photo. You'll see why in a minute when I really go to town with the space in the void spaces. But it says different type of shapes, mostly organic, can be found in this photo. The most noticeable are the lines, and some of these were mentioned in the lines section. The organic shapes that stood out were formed by patches of snow, or I should say, and or by worn out patches of grass, exposing the soil underneath. The posts on the field and different shapes of the faces, arms, legs, fashion accessories, hair, and clothing form a mixture of shapes. And let me show you. She's got an oval face. She's kind of got an oval face. His is kind of oval. It's kind of round up there. Um, they are, I mean, he's got a big coat. She's got hers wrapped around there, forming a different shape. And so all of these people are just dressed differently, and you could put that into your shapes. You could also put that into your texture. But I just didn't see much going for this one, so not in this picture. Now, some of you will do a great job on shapes because there are kind of geometrics, especially if there are buildings in it. You'll find several geometric shapes, so you might want to do that. But for this particular picture, shapes is not one of the biggest elements that it has to offer to us. And that's the end of shapes.